Hi everyone. So this video is a little different. It's looking at somebody's record collection that's on Instagram, and I did get their permission. I'll read you the little message I sent to Kimmy's Records. Zachariah is his name. And by the way, I've got new glasses. These are for the computer, and reading up close. And then these are transition glasses and bifocals. It's nice to see a little clearer. So anyway, this is the message I sent Zachariah. That's how you pronounce your name. Hello, Zachariah. Thanks for the follow. I was looking over your music collection and I like a lot of what I saw. And I didn't look at all of it, just the first part of it. I was thinking I could do a reaction video to your collection for my second channel, Larry Graves' Canadian Studmuffin, if that is okay with you. If it is, I can give everyone the link to your Instagram if you like. Thanks. And he responded, the Studmuffin himself, haha. Thank you for the follow too. I've been watching your YouTube videos for a few years now. Videos like yours definitely inspired me to find a place to post my collection. Thank you very much. I'd be so honored if you did a video on my account. Thanks for the kind comments. We definitely have similar music taste. I especially love some of your videos where you pick an album that's bad to really see if its reputation is true. Yeah, that's Does This Album Suck on my Canadian Studmuffin channel. I think my favorite was when you did Metallica's Saint Anger. Okay. So I would love my viewers' thoughts on his record collection too. And what are some of your favorites? I probably haven't heard all of these, but quite a few from the first few that I saw. And I will have a link for his Instagram. So, The Doors, Waiting for the Sun. I love that album. Not my favorite of theirs, but I love it. I love Cats, of course. That is... I always forget. That's Joy Division, right? Yeah, Joy Division. Devo, I love Devo, the first 3 or 4 albums especially. Freedom of Choice, I don't have that album. Granddaddy, I've never heard of. Great album by Fleetwood Mac. I respect Crowded House, I've never owned any of their albums though. Viagra Boys, I think I did a song reaction for one of their songs on my Patreon, but I don't remember because I do so many reactions on there. Big fan of Queen, I love News of the World, one of my favorites of theirs. Future Islands, once again, I've done some song reactions. Not sure who that is. Maybe somebody can let me know. Supertramp. Alien? Really? I've never heard of this. Is this a new album by Supertramp? I have no idea. Maybe somebody can let me know. Not sure who that is. Yeah, I can't even pronounce that. Steiker? Something like that. Guns N' Roses, I'm not a fan of. Pulp, I like. Yes. The Beatles, the best. I've never heard. This one. Richard Wright. I've never heard any of his solo albums. From Pink Floyd, of course. Granddaddy, I've never heard. I love David Bowie. That might be my favorite David Bowie album, Black Star. Nazareth, a very underrated band. My favorite of theirs is Rampant. Pink Floyd, that's Delicate Sound of Thunder. I kind of lost interest in them after Roger Waters left. Midnight Oil, I really like them. Billy Squire. I used to buy Billy Squire albums. Who is this? Royal Blood. I've never heard. I love Frank Zappa. Have a lot of his albums. It's a classic, of course. Wishbone Ash. I've heard them, but I've never owned any of their albums. Depeche Mode. I don't mind them, but I would never buy any of their music. I think that's a compilation. I might have heard that picture, the person on the cover. I forget his name, but I think I've done a song reaction or two on my Patreon. Rush, I don't have any Rush at the moment, but of course, they're one of the greats. Love Deep Purple, that's a great album. Machine Head. I respect Lynyrd Skynyrd. Never owned any of their albums, though. I heard the first Queens of the Stone Age album, and I really liked it. No idea who this is. Embryonic. Never heard them. New Order. I've heard some of their music. Not a big fan though. Black. Wonderful Life. Black. Never heard. America. Never owned any of their albums, but I do like them. Love Pink Floyd. That's one of the great debut albums of all time. Love Frank Zappa. Weasels Ripped My Flesh. And I love that album cover too. Prince is great. Don't have any of his albums at the moment, but I used to buy his albums on vinyl. Primus. Never owned any of their albums, but I have the 2 albums that Les Claypool did with with Sean Lennon, which I really love. Black Pumas. Is that how you pronounce it? Never heard any of them. Black Keys. Never really have listened to much of their music. Atmosphere. Smashing Pumpkins. Yep, great album. New Order, like I said, not a big fan. I like 10 Years After. I've never owned any of their albums, though. Deftones. I think I did a full album reaction, or maybe even 2 on my Patreon, and I really liked what I heard. Morris Day, never got into. Who's this? That's a cat. Guided by Voices. I've heard that they've released like lots of records. Maybe somebody can let me know how many. Maybe I don't have as many albums as I thought I did, in his collection. But still interesting to go through them. No idea who that is. Porcelain Raft. Never even heard of the name. I think you're lucky. Start Beach House. I've heard their music on my Patreon. I really liked it. Love REM. My favorite is Automatic for the People. Tears for Fears are great. Had that on vinyl back in the day. Best of Sticks. Yeah, they're okay. Not one of my favorites. That is my all-time favorite Paul McCartney solo album. And I love Talking Heads 77. James Gang, that's a great album. Echo and the Bunnymen, I've heard. I've liked what I've heard. Iron Butterfly, that's a very good album. Yeah. Very underrated band. Prince. I had that on vinyl. That's the album I heard, I think. Yeah, Queens of the Stone Age that I really liked. More New Order, The Happenings. Love Station to Station. I have all of the David Bowie albums. Of course, that just Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon, maybe a new remix or box from the box set. Great album. And I love Alice Cooper. I have the new the new remaster of Killer. Little River Band, never got into them. I have that album by Deep Purple. I have the first three and Machine Head and Deep Purple in Rock. Great albums. The Replacements, I've heard them, I like them, but never bought their albums. Mid Lake, never heard. More Queens of the Stone Age. Steely Dan, very good band, of course, but I just not my kind of music, really. Depeche Mode. Courtney Barnett. One of the great Black Sabbath albums. I love Black Sabbath with Ozzy. Grateful Dead. Not really a big fan. Donovan. I've never owned a Donovan album. Grizzly Bear. Royal Blood. I'm pretty sure I've done a reaction on Patreon. I don't remember though, because I've done hundreds of reactions on there. Mother Earth's Plantasia. No idea who that is. Hard to read. Spirit. Oh, Depeche Mode. Spirit. XTC. Great album. Styx. The Suburbs. Never heard. Love that album by Blue Oyster Cult. I'm a big Blue Oyster Cult fan. Go through this a little faster. I don't want this to be a 2-hour video. I'll just show you some of my favorites. David Bowie, I love. Camel, I've heard they're really good. Stevie Wonder's a classic, of course. Love ELO. Never heard Birth Control. That's my favorite Talking Heads album, Fear of Music. Love, like I said, all of the Blue Oyster Cult. The Who, Tommy's a classic. King Gizzard, yeah. I just bought a couple of my first King Gizzard albums yesterday and did a video on it. Pink Floyd, Adam Hart Mother, Replacements, Prince, I had that on vinyl. Love A Trick of the Tail. I saw Genesis on that tour. The Tom Tom Club, Grand Funk, yes. I love all of the Grand Funk albums with Mark Farner. King Crimson. I want to get more King Crimson. The Doors. I love The Doors. The Soft Parade. Earthling is great. The Yes album. The Illusion, If It's So. Yeah. A very kind of a cult band. They released 3 albums that are all really good in the late 60s, early 70s. Nice to see that there. Savoy Brown. I've got Street Corner Talking. Roxy Music. Greatest Hits. More Blue Oyster Cult. Prince. I had that album back in the day. Of course, Led Zeppelin is great. I've got the B-52s. Todd Rundgren. I've never owned a Todd Rundgren solo album, even though I do like him. Burnt Weenie Sandwich. I love Frank Zappa. Jimi Hendrix is great. Sabotage, possibly my favorite Black Sabbath album. Love Everything by Lou Reed. It's a Beautiful Day. Jeff Beck, Truth is excellent. Blonde on Blonde is good. Nectar. Ooh, I'd love to have that. It's kind of expensive to get on CD. If anybody out there wants to send me a copy of it, thank you. A Tab in the Ocean. Metallica. I love the Moody Blues, of course. Billy Idol's great. I love The Clash. I have that. Unplugged in New York is superb. J.J. Cale. Lots of good albums here. Blood, Sweat, and Tears. The Who, Quadrophenia is great. I love Klaatu, of course. T-Rex, Electric Warrior is very good. Floyd the Wall. That was probably my second favorite U2 album back in the day. Beatles, Abbey Road, Frank Zappa, You Are What You Is. I love those albums. That's a great album. David Bowie. Like I said, I love all of his albums. Cake, I really couldn't get into. I had them as part of a CD exchange. Wishbone Ash, Utopia. Never got into the Black Keys. I love Neil Young, but he puts out so much music, I can't keep up with it. That's one of the 2 King Gizzard albums I bought yesterday. Those are the Holy is great. $1 Billion Babies, yeah. Cheap Trick is great. Stand Up, Jethro Tull. Love the Beatles, of course. Queen, A Day at the Races, very underrated album. I love McCartney too. The Who by Numbers. Need to get that on CD. The New World Record by ELO is great. I have all the early Spirit albums in a box set. Great band. I'd love to get Badfinger on CD, but their CDs are expensive to buy. I love all the early Rod Stewart albums. Great debut by U2. Wings Greatest. Deep Purple, Made in Japan. Animal. It's not one of my favorite Pink Floyd albums. I love Some Girls, and I have the Love album too, and I have Morrison Hotel. All great albums. My favorite Van Halen album, their debut. Chunga's Revenge is excellent. Love Blue Oyster Cult, as I've mentioned. I've heard this. Sonny Bono. It's very, very strange. More Grateful Dead. Jet. Black Sabbath. Very underrated album. Technical Ecstasy. I love the David Bowie album, also known as Space Oddity. Flaming Lips, that's a great album. The early Santana albums were excellent. The Beatles, of course. Surf's Up is superb. Who's Next? My favorite Who album. Wish You Were Here is excellent. Paranoid. Dire Straits are very good. I've heard some Modest Mouse. I like them. Bob Seger. I love the Moody Blues. I have all of their first 7 albums, except for the debut. David Bowie, of course. Spector's very underrated album. We're nearing the end. Grand Funk. I love Grand Funk. Supertramp. Wings, Venus and Mars. Elton John. Television. Great debut album. Supertramp. Crisis What Crisis. Underrated. Love that Spirit album. Yep. Yesterdays by Yes. Love Yes. David Bowie. Led Zeppelin 4, of course. Hendrix. Metal, another one of my favorites. Some Enchanted Evening, great live album. Traffic is great. And that's about it. Yeah. So that was kind of interesting. So I've got maybe a quarter or so of what he showed there. But anyway, he's got very good taste in music from what I've seen. Let me know what are some of your favorites from his collection here. And check out his Instagram and follow. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.